Hi, my name is Dainis Michel, and I have a quick question for my audience and for anybody who might come across this video. The question is, does Ryan Levesque owe me $1,997? Let's find out who Ryan Levesque is.
My name is Ryan Levesque. I help other entrepreneurs launch and grow businesses online.
Okay, so I had mispronounced his name. It's Ryan Levesque, and he teaches something. He runs a program called the Ask Method. I'm going to find there's a little point where there we go. So one of his bits of advice is to seek out a mentor and become that mentor's #1 student. About 3 years ago or so, I purchased his Ask Method class for $1,997. Now, what happened is that my father became ill and he was in hospice care, and I couldn't participate in the class at all. And I contacted them and I was like, you know what, I can't even like log in. Like I can't look at this. I can't do this now. And they said, we're going to have an extension. So I was like, cool. So I paid $497 for the extension. Now, at that point, my father had recently passed, and I put a lot of effort into the class, right? There are all these categories and things to learn, and there's vocabulary, and there's abbreviations, like what's a DDS? A DDS is a deep dive survey. I found out now, I know that that's one of the things that people do when they're creating not just a community, but they're creating a cult, right? So when you're creating a cult, the way apparently they do it is they create their own lingo, right? But I wasn't privy to that at that time. And what I did is I really dove in, and I had 76 concepts that I evaluated because I didn't know which niche to choose. So I was like, okay, how am I going to choose which niche to go into? And I posted all my different. Actually, I think I posted like the top 8. I think the red ones were the. I can't remember now if the lowest. I think the highest score was the best. Pie chart, bubble chart. Oh, it's gonna try to bubble chart it. But anyway, this is a good one, and this isn't going to be about how to choose a niche or about my different kinds of business ideas, but I created a process to mathematically evaluate niches, and I wasn't sure which niche to go into. But one of the niches where I spend a good amount of time is in songwriting, because I teach. My not yet finished dissertation is in the teaching of music composition, and I teach songwriting and I teach composition, and so that's a big part of what I do. And here's the question. Ryan's class suggested that you create a survey that asks general questions like gender questions. And for my songwriters survey, I put male, female, and other. And I got kicked out of the class. Here's the post, right? This is the post. I planned on starting my deep dive surveys today. Here's my songwriting DDS. Your feedback would be greatly appreciated. Songwriting, I can't remember what DDW stands for. But some guy writes, I love your niche. I was a pro music songwriter for 20 years. So I'd said, you know what, I'm going to definitely proceed with the songwriting niche. And I do that. I've proceeded with that niche. But somebody asked, I don't wish to malign anyone, but if one becomes transgender, don't they now associate with the new gender? By the way, your deep dive survey is terrific. And, here I was, and basically one of the things is, so I'm going to say here, right, so let's say you don't identify as male or female and you're a songwriter and you're confronted with this really cool songwriting class and you're like, wow, this is great. And then all of a sudden you get this question, are you male or female? Um, so for me, I tried to write because I was getting blocked. So to me, the last thing I want to do is alienate someone who simply does not identify as male or female. Also, in particular, such souls are important in the arts because then just maybe some violent families won't cause their God created, incredibly beautiful but homosexual children to commit suicide. Now, for me, I mean, with the most simple guidelines of as long as you are not harming anyone, for goodness sakes, do whatever makes you and your friends and the people you love happy. Um, Now, my question is, so what the Ask Method leadership, Ryan and his wife, I think it's Tracy, what they did is they kicked me out, didn't have a discussion with me at all, like not a word, refunded 497, kept $1,997, and didn't say anything. Just, you're out, that's it. Here's your refund. We talked about it, was there what they said. I don't have a reason. Had they written to me and said, we've got some people in our community that find the gender topic to be a sensitive topic, it would be great if you'd refrain from discussing that further. I'd be like, okay, I'd maybe save the discussion and remove it. Why do I don't need to discuss gender issues in a business class. I don't need to. And maybe there are some people that could be triggered. I mean, I certainly wouldn't back down from the stance of it's not my business to judge. It's not my business to not love. It is my purpose on this planet to love you the way that you are and the way that you wish to express yourself. That has a lot to do with also teaching songwriting, right? I'm not here to tell you that your song's about like a bad topic or something like that. There's music that's horribly depressing, and people feel better because they have the catharsis of experiencing even death through song, right? That's not where my emphasis is. I guess I'm going on a tangent, but I just feel so incredibly strongly that people are allowed to express themselves in love and joy the way that they feel comfortable with one person, 90 people. If they're happy, they're happy. It's not my business. And I wouldn't back down from that. I just don't need to be talking about that in an Ask Method community. But the point is that I went all gung. So the summary is I pay $1,997. I can't participate because my father was passing away and then he passed away. I pay $497 and I go gung ho in this Ask Method. I mathematically figure out how to choose my niche. One of the niches that I choose is to teach songwriting and to teach sight singing. There's things that I do. And that's in this sort of thing. And I apparently make the quote unquote mistake of adding an other option to a gender question, because he's suggesting that Ryan in his class is suggesting that you add a gender question to your deep dive survey, to your gender questionnaire. And for me, I was like, I don't know exactly why I'm asking people gender, because I don't really think that it's that relevant, because I'm going to be teaching songwriting and I'm kind of don't want to ask that question. But I guess if I'm being made to ask that question, it's going to be male, female, other. I added other. There's this blow up discussion. People are sending me some chats and asking some questions, and I get kicked out. And I get $4.97 back, not a full refund. So my question to you is, does Ryan Levesque owe me $1,997? I keep trying to keep him from showing up on my Facebook feed, and it's just like, hi, I'm going to teach you choose. And it's just, my opinion is you don't do that. You don't just take people's money and not deliver the service that you promised, and you don't kick people out for adding another option. You don't kick people out for some type of ideological reason. You don't do that. That's like me applying to a university, getting into the program, paying for the program, and then moving there, moving into the dorm, and them telling me that because I added another option to my gender question, I'm kicked out of the university. But I paid, and they only give me 1/5 of the tuition that I had prepaid. I think that's pretty awful, and I would love your feedback on it. And Ryan, if you think that I'm defaming you, and you think that you want to sue me for telling the absolute utter truth online, I highly recommend that you don't do that. Call me up. Frankly, I don't want to talk to you. I just want $1,997 back, and I'm asking my online community for feedback, and also for your online community for feedback. Do you owe me that money back? I'm just asking a question, and there's been not one iota of fibbing in this video, so I can't imagine that it's lawsuit worthy, but I just don't want to say bring it on, because then it's just like, okay, well, we wind up in a law. You know what? I just want to know, do the people who've watched this video think that Ryan Levesque owes me $1,997? And if you have any questions, you can ask me, and you can ask Ryan and his team if there's any information that I might have somehow not disclosed. Fine by me. Okay? Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. And thank you for your time and attention. I would love your feedback on this matter. Thank you.